A joint report has found human traffickers may have committed crimes against humanity in Malaysia and Thailand. The Human Rights Commission of Malaysia and Fortify Rights group say the crimes were mostly committed against Rohingya men, women and children at sea and in human trafficking camps. Well, the report documents how a criminal network deceived Rohingya refugees to board boats, later abusing them, enslaving them and in some cases murdering them. A mass grave believed to contain the bodies of more than 30 Rohingya and Bangladeshi refugees was found in Thailand in 2015. 139 graves were also discovered in Malaysia. Well, Matthew Smith is Executive Director of Fortify Rights, a human rights organisation based in Southeast Asia. He joins us now from Kuala Lumpur. Good to have you with us. So this report talks about them being enslaved. Tell us a little bit about what happens to them. Where do they go? Working what kind of conditions?
Yeah, sure. Well, you know, this was a massive outflow of refugees from Myanmar over the course of a multi-year period, 2012 to 2015 specifically. And what this trafficking syndicate did was hold these men, women, and children in conditions of enslavement under international law. These groups, you know, the crimes they were committing effectively amounted to crimes against humanity. But specifically on this issue of enslavement, they were treated as property. These trafficking gangs, these human traffickers, were in the business of buying and selling Rohingya men, women, and children. And it was a trend that was going on for a very long time.
Who exactly is trafficking them? I mean, one imagines this sort of scale of an operation must involve quite a complex organization.
It was indeed complex, Sammy. We have reason to believe there was government complicity. You know, we're talking about more than 170,000 people getting on boats between 2012 and 2015. It was an industry that's estimated by the UN to have generated $50 to $100 million annually just in that geographic area over that period of time. We've got testimony indicating Thai authorities essentially selling selling Rohingya to human traffickers in Thailand. More research and more documentation, more investigation needs to be done to determine the extent to which Malaysian officials were involved. But it's very difficult to believe that a trade, this type of modern-day slave trade, could happen the way that it did without the involvement of the authorities.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was going to be my next question. Now that you've already kind of answered that, authorities clearly are involved in this. Where does that leave accountability now that you've uncovered this?
You know, Thailand did quite a good job in terms of prosecuting traffickers. They in 2017, Thai courts, a court in Bangkok, a special court devoted to this particular case, prosecuted 62 traffickers in 2017, 9 of whom were senior government officials. In comparison, Malaysia prosecuted only 4 individuals, non-Malaysian individuals. And so one of our concerns right now is that, you know, in a context of impunity, the abuses will continue. Impunity sends a message to these human traffickers and to this particular criminal syndicate that they could start their business up again. And this is, of course, a big concern now, given that there are still refugees fleeing Myanmar.
It is a concern. Thanks so much for coming, Matthew Smith.